about Hooke's law, and we have also learned how potential energy, elastic potential energy of spring, what is its expression, and what is Hooke's law. Okay? Yes. So all of you just take your notes fast. One minute, just go through that notes, because I know that you're busy in studying for other exam. Let's just go through it. Okay, now Rin, can you tell me what is Hooke's law? Because we learned only little yesterday. We didn't get much time.
It states that the force acting on a spring is directly proportional to the extension length of the spring.
Very good. Okay, the force which is directly proportional to extension length of the spring. Okay, Dia, can you tell me that expression? Fs is equal to what? Potential energy of a spring is equal to what? What's the equation we have learned last?
K into x square by 2.
Yes, half kx square. Okay. Who else is there? Ashwin, you have any problem? Network connection?
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am.
Nebin? Rijas? And yesterday, I think some of them are absent. So I don't remember how many were present. Okay. What is K? K stands for what? Okay, Nevin? Okay. Emmanuel, K stands for what? What do you call for K?
Spring constant.
Spring constant. Another word is force constant. Okay. So already this much early we have learned, I think. Yesterday we had a very simple topic. So we continue with the same topic. Okay. So there are some 2, 3, it's not that much very important topic, but we can just cover it. We can just say some important points regarding potential energy. Okay, Nandana. Okay, okay. Adim, Nevin, Nandana. Okay, they have told me that they have network issues. Okay. Yes. So there are some important points regarding potential energy of the spring. So I am going to repeat the same thing what we have learned. So this is the picture I have showed you yesterday in the class. Clear? So the first picture, they are in equilibrium position. We can say that when there is no compression, there is no extension, and spring force is 0 and the displacement is 0, then we can say they are in equilibrium position. That is Fs is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. And second case, when the spring is extended in right side, by the time there is a opposite by Newton's third law, there is an opposite reaction force. It's a tensional force making the spring to pull it direction. That is what we told Fs is negative and x is positive. Similarly, we went to the third case, compression. Compression means block is compressing to the wall. By the time the force is acting in positive direction, so Fs is positive, x is negative. Okay, so that is what we have learned in the last class. Those are missed the class, I am just repeating only. Okay, some of them may not there in the class yesterday. So as a result, we proved that spring force is an example of a variable force which is a conservative, and it is only depending upon the initial position and final position. Then we also learned how can we represent in terms of integration, since it is a variable force. Okay, so now you write, just imagine that the displacement is changing, and whether mechanical energy is conserved or not in this case. So that is what the next step we are moving on to. So you can continue from that, just 2, 3 points, then we go to the next topic. We can write it down, all of you. By conservation law of energy, by conservation law of energy, if the block is extended by conservation law of energy, if the block is extended from, if the block is extended from 0 to, extended from 0 to x suffix m. So we are just extending that spring to a maximum point. That's the meaning of it. Maximum point 0 to x sum. Then you can copy down this expression what I have written down. Then work done on the spring is equal to, work done on the spring Ws is equal to integral 0 to x sum fx dx. In extension, fs is negative. That's why minus. So 0 to x sum. We got the answer. Applying the potential kx dx. Kx dx. And after integrating, we got it minus kx squared m by 2. Because we know when you apply the limits. Someone is saying something? Hello? Anyone is saying something? Michael, what happened? Michael, any problem? No? No, I am. Okay, okay. Okay. Shall I continue? No problem, no?
Ma'am, can you show again the
Yes, I'm
slide?
sure because I heard some sound. That's what I just, someone is asking. So once again, I repeat the conservation of energy. Consider the spring is extended to x sum or from 0 to x sum. Then Ws is equal to Fs dx. Okay, shall I continue, children? By taking the magnitude, next line, by taking the magnitude of total energy, by taking the magnitude of total energy of the spring, we can write, magnitude means we don't take it the negative sign because we are taking modulus. We can write half k x squared m. That is kx squared m by 2. That's the one. Half k squared m is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy of the spring plus kinetic energy of the spring. So yesterday we have already learned potential energy is half kx square. Kinetic energy, just imagine this spring is moving with the velocity v. Then we can substitute while it is extending, it is moving with v while we pulling that speed. Then we can write this total, maximum total energy can be equal to half kx squared plus half mv square. Okay, so this is the expression for potential energies of a spring when mechanical energy is conserved in that. Okay, so there's not much derivation, just we are giving it. Next point, next line, before that, below that, when x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, we can say that spring is attaining equilibrium position, equilibrium position, equilibrium position. And once the spring is extended, once spring is extended at maximum displacement, once spring is extended at the maximum displacement, we can write half m Vm square is equal to half m kx square m. That is, it has attained maximum kinetic energy. Once it extended, we can say it is attained maximum kinetic energy. We can add one more point. We can say that it attained maximum kinetic energy. So this potential energy fully converted into kinetic energy. That is why. Okay. Then we don't have this term at equilibrium position. So equilibrium position, all potential energy already converted back to kinetic energy. Therefore, total energy in the spring during this action, we got, it is actually equal to kinetic energy. Now, why we are doing that? We are going to get an equation for velocity of the spring. That means with what speed the spring has been extended. So that is what we are having this. So from this, you know, half got cancelled. Half got cancelled. Now let us keep it Vm square on the left side. Okay. So finally, when you do the cross multiplication, you are getting kxm square by m. Therefore, what is Vm, children? What is Vm? From this, what you get Vm, Lydia? Vm square is kxm squared by m. So what is Vm? Square root of this. Tell me. You are saying something? Video stuck in between. Now tell me, what is Vm? Vm square is equal to this. It's a square. So gradually, what will be this?
Square root of
k
kx square
m.
by
Okay. Then you can write it finally. Vm is equal to square root of k by m xm. So if you take the square root of the ratio between spring constant and mass, multiply with the displacement, you will get velocity of the spring.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, what is the equilibrium position? I
equilibrium
didn't understand that.
means when we have spring has been already extended. When they're extended, it reaches to a maximum position. Then after that, the spring cannot extend. Okay, that means there is no more varying force will be acting on it. So that is why equilibrium position or mean position. Okay. Similarly, children, see, we have already learned GP. GP means the object is moving from a particular height to down. So one, it is reached to down, we can say it is already attained the equilibrium position. There is no, even you apply more than that, more force on that, there is no change in the movement of that object or no change in the movement of the spring. So that is equilibrium position. Similarly, I think you are going to study in this case a simple pendulum. This is a spring. Same thing can happen. If you consider a simple pendulum, you know, simple pendulum start oscillating. You release and oscillate. So it first go to here, come back here, and then go back and come back here. So this midpoint, we call it as a equilibrium position or mean position. Okay. So that we are learning. This is move here, come back here, then come back here, and one complete wave or complete cycle is complete. Similarly, the spring has been extended to a maximum displacement. Even now you are applying more force, there is no change in that extension. So it has reached to a stable position. It has reached to a stable position. Okay. So when you go to volume 2, there is mechanical properties of solid. In that we will learn, if you apply more than force, extension will not take place, breaking or breakage will take. Okay. So that I'm not telling now because that we will be learning in second volume, mechanical properties of solids. So at this point, we only consider the spring has been extended to a maximum displacement, or it is the same thing when it is compressed to a maximum compression. Clear? Okay. Can we do one more problem, children, under this, to find out the velocity? Already we have learned this equation of Vm is equal to. So shall we do one problem? So this is what is our potential energy of a spring. Next we are moving on to mass energy equivalence. So before that we will do one simple problem, then we go to the next one. Did we do this question? A car of mass 1000 kg moving with a speed 18 km per hour. Did we do? Yesterday, did we do that problem? Just check. We did some problem, but I don't remember that. Which one it was? I just read the question, just see whether we have done.
Ma'am, yesterday we did a body of mass 2 kg moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second.
Okay.
Strikes an ideal wave.
Okay. Then this is different. Okay, you can write the problem. So next problem under this. A car of mass. I hope everyone is writing, okay? Some I cannot see. Donna, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Writing? Are you writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are other students? Anthony's come. Anthony. So some students joined late. Anthony, are you there? Anthony. At least say, I can see your name, but whether because I saw you joining late, that's why I'm asking.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So write down. A car of mass 1000 kg. A car of mass 1000 kg. 1000 kg. Moving with a speed of 18 kilometer per hour. Moving with the speed of 18 kilometer per hour on a smooth road. And colliding with a horizontally mounted spring. Horizontally mounted spring. Mounted spring of spring constant. Mounted spring of spring constant. Spring constant 6.25 into 10 to the power of 3. 10 to the power of Newton per meter. Newton per meter. What is the maximum compression of the spring? What is the maximum compression of the spring? What is the maximum compression of the spring? Maximum compression of the spring. So first we have to find out, because we have got the equation that V is equal to square root of K by M xm. So what is, we have to find out xm. So instead of using this square root, we can avoid the complications by taking the another equation we already learned. Instead of this, potential energy, maximum total potential energy or total energy of the spring is half Kxm square. Correct? So if we can use this first. So before that, we have to find out. We have to find out what's the value. Okay? So before that, what we have to do, children? We have to convert this 18 kilometer per hour, 18 kilometer per hour into meter per second if you require. Okay? Any other question? One more question, please write. Find the kinetic energy. With that, we have to find the kinetic energy of the moving car. One more point is there. Find the kinetic energy of the moving car. That also is there. So first we find out kinetic energy of the moving car. So we can find out by equation kinetic energy half mv square. First we do that. Now here velocity is 18 kilometer per hour. We need to convert it into meter per second. So multiply with 1000 by 3600. So I am just writing in the small fraction, okay? Mass is given to us. Just give me the answer, children. How much you got, children, kinetic energy?
12,500.
Yeah. Is it 500? 1000 by 2, 500. 500 into 25.
Yes, ma'am. 12,500.
12,500. So kinetic energy is equal to 12,500. Forgot about to divide, multiply. 12,500 joule. So for it easy one, if you wanted, you can, okay, no problem. We can also write this way also if you want. Let us see whether we have to know. Now what is the next step? Next step, we have to find out the velocity. So already I have given the equation, not velocity, displacement, compression. So U is equal to half K xm square. You know the K, spring constant you know, but you don't know xm. We have to calculate from xm. So for that, we should know the potential energy, but already you found out. By conservation law of energy, whatever be the kinetic energy, it will be stored in the spring when it gets compressed. So U and this value both are same. So now we can substitute that value there. Okay? Any doubt, children? So this is only the manipulation of conservation.
Ma'am, I didn't understand.
Okay, I'll tell you once again. Car is moving and it is colliding with the spring which is mounted horizontally. So because of that impact, what happened? The spring compressed. So the energy of the car is the one which is transferred to the spring to compress. Therefore, Kinetic energy of the car and the potential energy which is stored in the spring for compression, both are same. Got it? Yeah. So why we found out the kinetic energy? We have to get the potential energy. Otherwise what? So gain in kinetic energy is equal to loss in potential energy, or gain in potential energy equal to loss in kinetic energy. So that is what. So shall we go to now? So instead of U, we can substitute, that is 1000 to 500 is equal to half into K is given. The value of K is given 6.25 into 10 to the power of 3. 10 to the power of 3, and you don't know x sum square. So let us first find out x sum square, then gradually you can find out the x sum. Okay. So you can do both ways. 12500. If you want, you can convert this one. 6.25 into 10 to the power of 3. If you wanted to have multiplication more easy, you can do that way. Multiply with 1000, you will get a even number into x sum square. Better reduce this one. Divide this 62500 with 2 and then do the cross multiplication and we will get the answer.
First we can cancel the zeros, right?
Yeah, that way also you can do. You'll do any method, okay? It's a max. So whichever method you can do, first to find out x sum square. So those who wanted to do this way, you can do this way. So if you do this method, you will get like this.
Ma'am, how to find x sum?
X sum, first to find out x sum square from this equation. Can we find out? As usual.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
U is equal to half. So first to find out x sum square, then take the square of it. You will get it. Those who want to do, you can do this way. Then you will get x sum square is equal to 31250 by 12500. Cancel. Now find out. It's very simple. Find x sum square, then take the square. You will get that.
Ma'am, it was 6.25 into 10 raised to 3.
Oh, it was 10 raised to 3. So you will get 6250 only, no? Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So 1 0 is more. Okay. It was 10 cube. Oh, okay. Then we have to reduce them. So,
ma'am, can you check the waiting room, ma'am? Nandana is there.
But no, this one. Notification. No notification, Achyut. If I get notification, I can let. Maybe she's have some problem. Did you get the answer? Do it. Time up. You will get 2 meter last. X sum you will get 2 meter. Check whether you are getting or not. 3125. Did you get, children, anyone? So your final answer is 2 meter. Okay. Did you get 4 xm square? No one is responding. 3125 into 4, you will get 12500. Gauri, did you get? Xm square, did you get 4? Yes. Now xm what? Square root of that. So if you do this, you will get 4. Therefore, xm is equal to square root of 4, 2 meter. Anyone made a mistake? You just check. Okay. Shall we continue, children? A small topic before winding up the session. Einstein's mass energy relation. Only that. We are not going to study much detail about Einstein's E is equal to mc square. That we are learning in +2. So just represent Einstein's mass energy relation. Einstein's mass energy relation. This is only for 1 mark or 2 mark. That's all. Nothing, something, we are not going to that detail of that. Okay. So according to Einstein, so what Einstein said that whenever some energy is converted, especially when an object is colliding, whenever an object is energy is converting, in some cases, mass of the particle, some particle or some portion of the mass that has been converted into energy. So that is what Einstein's. Actually, in a macro physics, this is not okay for us. We cannot, it is not possible for us macro physics. Macro physics means mechanics and all that. But this may be practicable in the case of microphysics. Microphysics means wave motion, electromagnetic wave, light and all that. So, and nuclear physics. In nuclear physics, actually, you have learned in 10th standard, nuclear fission. What is fission? Do you remember fission and fusion? What is fission? Anyone? What is fission? Nuclear fission and fusion. Anyone remember? Sources of energy. Nandana, do you remember? Nuclear fission.
The nucleus splits into smaller nuclei.
So when a uranium atom is bombarded with some neutrons, extra neutrons, it will split into and form another new elements, boron, krypton, barium, and like that. So that is. So in that case, Einstein's mass energy equation is possible because small fraction of the mass of the particle have been converted in terms of nuclear energy. Similarly, fusion, that is, you know it, in the sun. Whereas lighter nuclei fuse together and you will get a helium nuclei. 2 hydrogen atoms fuse together, you will get helium nuclei. So that is about Einstein's mass energy. Okay, we can just write a statement. According to Einstein, matter can be converted into energy, and energy can be converted into matter, can be converted into energy, and energy can be converted into matter. Thus, During nuclear reactions, thus, during nuclear reaction, a small amount of matter is converted into energy. Small amount of matter is converted into energy. Small matter is converted into energy. Thus, by Einstein's mass energy equivalent theory, energy is equal to mc square, where c is the speed of light. E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square. Okay. So children, I am winding up the session. So we will meet on Friday. Okay. Thank you.